You've got to properly evaluate your present situation. Here's number 2.
It's the Motivational Christian Lounge, where I share all about Christian motivation, sermons, and gospel reviews in order to pass important information through the teaching spoken for inspiration, for knowledge, and for the edification of the spirit, soul, and body. Kindly don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below.
Number 2, if you're going to make the best out of a difficult or a bad situation, you cannot be afraid to ask for help. Okay, touch your neighbor and say, this is where you come in. She has a bad situation and she goes to the man of God and she said, my husband, your prophet, is dead. The creditors are on their way to take my sons into slavery. Can you help a sister out? That's my translation. And look what the man of God does. He flipped the script on her and he said, before I help you out, are you willing to help yourself? I'm in the Bible. Look what he says. He said, what is it you got in your house? Okay, y'all missed your cue right there. What is it you have in your possession? What kind of talent? What kind of skill? What kind of ability that you've got in your house? Look at the woman's attitude. I ain't got nothing. Look at her attitude. I ain't got nothing. If I had something, I wouldn't be up in here. I ain't got zero. I ain't got look at her attitude. I ain't got come to think about it, wait a minute, back it up, roll back. I do have not much, but I do have a jar of oil. Y'all gonna catch this on your way. Tell your neighbor, say, that's the grace of God. You always have just a little that you can use. You ain't got a full tank of gas, but you ain't all the way empty. Come on up in here. You may not have steak, but you got peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You may not have St. John, but you ought to thank God for Casual Corner. You may not have 9 West, but thank God for Payless. You may not have a Mercedes, but thank God for your hoopty. You may not have a mansion, but thank God for your apartment. You ought to thank God you may not have all that you want, but you got all that you need. You got clothes on your back, roof over your head, shit on your feet. Yeah. You always got something. You always got something. Tell your neighbor, say, you always got something. There is always something left over, thank God. There's always something left over. That's the grace of God, that he always leaves a remnant. He always leaves a little bit of oil. He always leaves a little bit of money in the checking account. You may not have all the $1 million you want, but you thank God you got enough to make it for the next 30 days. Who am I preaching to this morning? I got just. And if you can't shout over just enough, you ain't gonna shout over more than enough. Is there anybody in here who said this praise is just enough? I just got it just enough to make it to work and to church. I ain't going to the gym. I ain't going nowhere else. I just got just. He said, what you got in your house? Don't be afraid to ask. Help. Tell your neighbor, say, neighbor, now I know why I'm sitting next to you. Because you've been anointed to help me. God, come on, say, you got something in your possession. You got a shoe you can't wear. You got a dress you can't wear no more. You got a car you ain't using no more. You got some extra cash. Yeah, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to ask for help. But here's number 3. You're going to make the best out of a bad situation. You've got to properly evaluate it. Number 2, you can't be afraid to ask for help. But number 3, you've got to be willing to involve the community. Did y'all see that? Elisha said to her, go to the neighbors, the community, and ask them if you can borrow some vessels. And don't just borrow a few. Are y'all in the Bible? Do I have a minute to just unpack that? Because Pastor Jenkins, it amazes me that she is already in debt, and the man of God tells her to go borrow. That's putting her more in debt. Oh God, go borrow. I'm already strapped. I'm already paying 18% on a card. I already got student loan, already behind in the mortgage. You telling me to go borrow vessels, and the only reason I'm in this situation is because my good man had taken out a loan. Listen, look what the man of God tells her. It's not that you're borrowing, it's who you're borrowing from. Okay, y'all missed it. Yeah. He said, go borrow from your neighbor. Not your neighbor, say, you my neighbor. Yeah. He said, borrow from some people who knows your situation, so when you cannot repay them, they ain't gonna take you to court because they know your situation. Your problem is not that you're borrowing, it's you're borrowing from the wrong people, because your neighbor ain't gonna add interest to your loan. I wish I had somebody in. I wish I had somebody. Is there anybody in here who grew up in Mississippi or Alabama or grew up in South Carolina, and every now and then your mama ran out of sugar or she didn't have enough flour? She didn't send you to the grocery store. She can afford going to the grocery store, but she said, child, put your robe on. I want you to go across the street and tell mama so and so that I need some sugar. Is there anybody in here who knows that you made it on borrowed pieces because God blessed somebody and that person blessed you with something? He said you've got to involve the community. In other words, you can't make it by yourself. Pull your neighbor by the hand and say, neighbor, this is the color purple tomorrow. We can't make it by ourselves. Me and you will never part. Come on, say, I need you and you need me. And the only reason you're making it this morning is because God used somebody to bless you. You ought to thank God for church. You ought to thank God for community. You ought to thank God for neighborhood. You ought to thank God that God uses some people to bless you. Even when you couldn't pay them back, He uses them to bless you. If you're going to make the best out of a bad situation, you've got to evaluate your present situation. You cannot be afraid to ask for help. You got to involve the community. But when you've done all of that, here's the bonus point. You got to trust God to make up the difference in your life. God bless you. Thank you for having me. But slap five at your neighbor and say, when you've done all you can, just stand. Stand on the promises of God. Stand on the will of God. Stand on the joy of God. When you can't do anything, stand. Because He may not come when you want Him, but He's always, I said He's always on time.
That's all for now. If you like such kind of videos, then consider subscribing, liking, commenting, and sharing to your friends. Thank you and bye-bye.